The symbolism in the music video, Alejandro. What is up, alienARMy? I am Oculus, the alien next door, purveyor of esoteric lore. And on this channel, we discuss everything out of this world. Today, we're going to be talking about the symbolism in the music video by Lady Gaga, and the song is called Alejandro. The first thing I noticed about this is that it's just a fucking pimp-ass motherfucking jam.
As per YouTube, and they like to censor motherfuckers.
I'm not going to be putting the video in this video, so I will have it linked below so that you can see which video that I am talking about. It's, I believe, the official music video, so if you want to, go right ahead, watch that first, jam out for a bit, and then don't forget to come back here. So this name, Alejandro, is actually a Spanish form of the name Alexander. And weirdly enough, about 2 weeks before I decided to film this video about the hidden meanings that are in this video, I kept being called towards the name Alexandra. So I was like, why? I don't know anyone by that name. It's not really significant in my experience. I don't think I've ever met anyone in person that had that name, but I was like, okay, I'm sure all will be revealed to me in due time, as it always is. The name Alexandra obviously is the feminine form of Alexander, and the name meaning of Alexander roughly means to ward off, avert, or defend. It's also known as the defender of men, things along that line, depending on what type of tradition that name is stemming from. So pretty much boils down to the same thing. So I had my light bulb moment, that lightning flash moment regarding this name, because number one, the name Alexandria was following me. I'm like, what's going on? I'm gonna be honest, I was listening to this song a lot just because I like it. I ain't gonna lie, it's a snazzy little beat. So then I'm like, wait a second, let's connect the dots and look at the name Alexandra, feminine form of Alexander, and then we have the Spanish version of Alexander, which is Alejandro. So I see, number one, first and foremost, that the name in the context that I am using, remember, keep in mind the traditional name meaning, is the fourth dimensional entities that are defending, that are protecting the sanctity of this occult knowledge. Because not everyone is meant to graduate, so to speak, into the higher realms of consciousness and different dimensional workings. And the fourth dimension is really, I always say this, the super highway betwixt the 5D, all that is, and the 3D, third dimensional human vessel. So the 4D, if one does not decipher the riddles of the fourth dimensional plane, which they show us fucking everywhere, then one is not going to graduate into the 5D consciousness, because one must know how to discern what the symbolism is, because it's not given away to just someone who views things through their two eyes and not their third eye. So now that you have the name meaning down of where it is deriving from, we can think of it as sort of a symbolism of fourth dimensional energy that is protecting the occult knowledge and only allowing those who are able to decipher the hidden meanings in such constructs to graduate to the next level, the next plane of consciousness. So we have that. The name Gaga in and of itself is actually the name of an ancient Babylonian god, and this is a god who is purported to be in relation to feminine energy, and is also considered to be the planet Pluto, which was believed in this context of Gaga to be an escaped moon of Saturn. Saturn symbolism. Oh yeah. So we have Gaga, we have Alexander, which is in this essence equating to Alejandro. Now with that being out of the way, we have the origins of those two names. So we're going to move along into this video. And keep in mind, when I'm proceeding along here, I do want to let you know that you might see things different than the way that I'm seeing them. You might not see what I'm seeing, you might see other things. This is just my view as interpreted by me. So always always use your own intuition when you're deciphering fourth dimensional riddles. Okay. So first and foremost, the one thing that I do want to state, which is evident throughout the entire video, is the usage of black and white and red. So we know that black and white are representatives of the harmony betwixt the poles, is representative of Jachin and Boaz, the pillars that guard the entrance to the Temple of Solomon. So a lot of symbolism already just in that. So that's throughout. Now, when we start off with watching this video, we have the six-pointed star, which is two triangles that are interwoven together, one pointing up, one pointing down. For the symbolism, though, implies that of a hexagram, being that it's a six-pointed star. We know hexagram is also found on the top of Saturn if we look at it from above, the planet Saturn. And we know that the number 6 is very significant to fourth dimensional energy. The six-pointed star, being that it has the upright triangle and the downward facing triangle, is also representative of masculine energy, feminine energy. So it's unifying the poles again. Throughout this video, you will also see a lot of Lady Gaga covering one eye. Sometimes she'll have both eyes open, sometimes she'll have both of them covered. And she does this in a lot of her videos. It's not just this, and this is really prevalent among a lot of big names, but I just found it to be like, okay, we're still doing that thing with, you know, the one eye. And we know what that one eye symbolism means. The one eye symbolism can be stemmed back to the Eye of Horus, who is the son of Osiris and Isis. Again, masculine and feminine being blended together to create the third eye, which is Horus. We also have the pineal gland symbolism, which means that you're essentially looking through your third eye, the pineal gland, and not the two earthly eyes. So a lot of symbolism going on with that. That symbolism is also found on the United States $1 bill. Just saying, but that's common knowledge, isn't it now? Next, we have this depiction of a funeral and a casket is being moved. And there's this thing, now I couldn't decipher what exactly this was. It looks like a heart. I'm not exactly sure, but it looks like a heart that's been crushed. It's been, I mean, this heart looks like it's been smashed and it's been around the block. I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that it's a heart. If you see something else, then that might be on you, but that's what I'm seeing here. So this is the death of something. This is sort of like the heart that is no longer part of that living being. It's sort of separate because the depiction is of a death. Moving along, there's a depiction of someone that's wearing a helmet with spikes on it, depicting that nothing is getting through the head, at least in my viewpoint, because the head is sort of guarded there. So the funeral is going on, the heart is not in the body, and nothing is getting through to the mind because the mind has those spikes up, which to me are representative of the shield of the ego mind. Then we have the symbolism of Lady Gaga herself. She's sitting there and she is wearing a crown. So crown, if you want to look at the different meanings of where the word crown derived from, especially at this moment in time as I film this, wink wink, you will most likely find that interesting. And we also have the crown, which is what I'm seeing to as the royalty that
there is a group called Crown, which essentially owns a lot of stuff on the 3D plane.
Wink wink, you know, I gotta be choice selective with the language I use here, but I think you get the gist. And we also have the representation of the crown chakra. So she is someone who I'm seeing as being depicted in this video as someone who is already illuminated. She's not wearing the hat with the spikes on it. She doesn't have that crushed, mashed up looking heart going on, right? She's sort of the observer of all this from the higher elevated state of mind, the crown chakra. We see in the video the depictions of flames in the background, which that's kind of self-explanatory. I mean, do I really need to tell you what the fucking flames mean in this context when we're talking about fourth dimensional entities? I think not. We have the symbolism of dancing in a circle, which goes on in a lot of pagan rituals, and we do know, if we are familiar with history of religion today, that a lot is based off of ancient pagan rituals and traditions. So here we have the symbolism of red, the upside down cross. We have the hooded suit, and so we have with this whole name of the actual song. Now, this might just be me. This is just what I'm going by intuitively. And the whole name meaning is actually showing someone who has been anointed into 4D activities, so to speak. And the message that is being conveyed here through the name is that they are the protectors of the occult knowledge. So if we want to look at the symbolism of that, this is fourth dimensional energy that is protecting the knowledge and giving it forth in little snippets like what I'm talking about here, only for the enlightened eye to decipher, because someone else could be looking at this and just enjoying the music and be like, okay, that's good enough for them. But someone who has their third eye open, someone who does see through the all-seeing eye, they are seeing an entirely different meaning. And the whole reason for that is because if the knowledge was just given away to the masses in a way which was not coded, most of the masses would not even begin to comprehend the level of what is being conveyed to them. So it has to be shown in symbolism, because the 4D energy wants to protect the knowledge so that only the enlightened ones are able to gain the occult knowledge, because they have deciphered that occult symbolism, because they're looking through the eye and not through the eyes. So when she is saying, don't call my name, what I saw with that symbolism, remember 4D energy is twisty. So a lot of times yes means no, no means yes, up means down, right means wrong, all of that stuff, because it's shifty energy, it's a shapeshifter. So in this context, saying don't call my name, remember we have the name meaning there, the defender, don't do that. Don't call the name actually means do call the name, do seek to decipher for yourself that which is being defended and protected by the fourth dimensional gatekeepers, so to speak. So we have my favorite part of the video coming up, which
if you watch some of my videos, you'll see that I was quite inspired by it.
And this is the hypnotic effect of the background. I'm not sure, there's probably like a video term for it, but it's like the background is blinking and it's sort of like you're seeing bits and pieces and there's movement, but it's like then it goes dark, then it goes light, then it goes dark, then it goes light. That is a classic hypnotic technique that is used to brainwash someone, in my view. Now I'm pretty sure there's like a psychological term for it. I know I've seen it in psychological documentaries. Remember,
I'm doing intuitive channeling here. I ain't doing no technical facts, so don't be on me if I don't know the technical term. But I just know that I've seen in some videos that they were talking about mind control experiments, that it's like they have that same type of flashing light.
I don't know what it's called. If you do, that's great. Good for you. I don't know. I don't care. I just know what it do. Okay? That shit hypnotizes you. So we have that because when someone is in the state of operating from a third dimensional perspective, they are easily hypnotized, and I think you kind of know what goes on from there. It's just anything that's being spoon-fed to them by the outside source, it's going right in. There's no discernment. There's no questioning. They're just like, yeah, that's it. And it's like those little Twilight Zone eyes going on because they're hypnotized. Now we have Lady Gaga, who is standing, and to me this gave me sort of like,
I'm not gonna lie,
this gave me They Live vibes, because you know, when you ain't wearing the fucking sun spectacles, motherfuckers be looking normal and they be chilling, and you be at Starbucks like,
hey, what's up, how's you doing?
And then you put on your fucking pimp shades and it's like, whoa, demons all around you, and you're just like, oh snap. So this I saw as representative of someone who is seeing things as they really are on the third dimensional plane, because they're looking through their one eye, the third eye, and they are no longer looking through their two physical eyes.
Metaphorically, of course, because you're still looking at shit with your two eyes, but you're not really seeing things with your two eyes. You're just like observing them, but you see with your third eye.
So we have the depiction of a cross in the background, which again, we know the creators of the Bible and the cross symbolism. We know that a cross that is folded up is a cube. We know that a cube flattened is what is depicted on the North Pole of Saturn. We know who Saturn represents. He got a whole entire cult, doesn't he now? Now we have the depiction of, I don't know, it looks like there's about to be a big orgy going on. Okay, that's what it looked like to me, but also it looks like the depiction of, there are these men who are surrounding Lady Gaga. They sort of look like they're lusting after her. They look like they're a little bit horned out, you know what I'm saying? And not devil horns, the other horn, although that's interesting. Is that where that word came from? I don't know. Might look that up later. This is what I'm seeing particularly for this. This is where the men are swarming her, and she is essentially diving into this pit of men. She takes her clothes off and she just sort of surrenders to it, right? And they're behaving very animalistic. They're behaving sort of like hungry like the wolf type of vibes. And this is really showing me like the animal instinct and surrendering to the animal instinct. And the next scene that we have going on is her lying down with both eyes wide open. So now she doesn't have one eye covered. She's not wearing the sunglasses. She has both eyes wide open, but it looks pretty evident that she's not seeing with those eyes. She looks like she's somewhere in a trance. And this comes right after she basically surrendered to that animalistic energy that was swarming her. So as the video closes, we see this transition from her to sort of like a demonic entity face, and in my opinion this is showing initiation rites into perhaps you've surrendered to the dark side and now you are potentially being piloted around by something that is not you. So I'm saying this metaphorically, just in context of what's going on in this video. So the video, to me, it could have been any character, they're surrendering into that pit of bestiality, I guess, and then now they are sort of like they're still, but then when this scene cuts out, it shows a demonic face, which means, is the body still of the soul that was once piloting it, and now it's being run by something else because they gave in to those lusty dark side type of temptations, as we saw the surrender to it? Could it be some sort of initiation rite that was depicted here? Possibilities are endless, but I'm just telling you what I saw from a metaphorical point of view. So that's what I have going on with this video here. Those are my deductions, those are my opinions. Everything here is my opinion. So if you see something different, if you have different opinions, you know, take what resonates with you and use your own discernment, because that's exactly what we're talking about here. 4D energy likes everyone to use discernment because things might not always be what they seem and you have to utilize intuition. That's what I have for you today with this little breakdown. I am Oculus, the alien next door. We will chit chat again soon.